Hi, my name is Mallory Thomas. I'm a postdoctoral scholar working under Dr. Scott Belcher at NC State in the toxicology department. I came to NC State for my postdoc, meaning I already got my PhD up in New York at Binghamton University, where I originally studied environmental chemistry. So I'm a chemistry person by trade, toxicologist now, practicing at least. Came here because I really liked the environmental issues and how NC State put such high priority on how things in the environment can severely affect the normal everyday person and how we can transition what we know as scientists to kind of the layman, and people can actually see the impact that our work has on their everyday lives. A postdoctoral scholar means I've already successfully defended my doctorate degree. It's sort of like an apprenticeship where you get to learn sometimes a new field, like I'm doing, or you get to learn how to run a lab, how to supervise undergraduate researchers, other graduate students, help them along the way, more of like a mentorship process. A lot of times it'll help you transition into a role in academia to be a professor, or it can help you gain skills for another industry job that you might need later on. My research in the Belcher lab, I have a variety of projects. Right now we study PFAS. PFAS are per and polyfluoroalkyl substances. It's an industrial byproduct. They're used a lot for heat resistant, oil resistance, and water resistance. So a really easy example is they're actually in the fibers of a lot of firefighting clothing, but they're also ubiquitous in the environment, meaning they're pretty much everywhere. In the water, the soil, and even sometimes in contaminated food. We study PFAS because they're linked to having a lot of health effects in the body. So us as toxicologists, we like to study their effect on what exactly is happening in our system when we are exposed to PFAS. We also work with the NC CAPE, which is the North Carolina Center for Coastal Algae People and the Environment, studying microcystins. Microcystins are a cyanotoxin given off from toxic blue-green algae. So sometimes when the lake is closed and you can't go swimming because of blue-green algae, it's due to this toxin that can also affect your immune system as well. So our research is impactful in the sense of we look at long-term effects. Right now, PFAS themselves are kind of understudied in terms of how it's affecting us. We do know there's some intake somehow, whether it's through water, it's through a contaminated food source or anything like that. We know it's getting into our system, but we don't know how that's going to look 10, 15 years from now. It's been linked to certain things like liver failure and stuff like that. So we want to see, hopefully, some regulations that maybe come of it from other, federal institutions that limit the certain amount that you can have, or better testing for waters for PFAS, or even just how we can potentially see some sort of remediation from them to make them less prominent. The most challenging part of being a postdoc for me personally is adapting to a new field. I'm a chemist by nature. While we do a lot of chemistry in our lab here, there's a lot of other aspects that it's not necessarily my expertise, but there's a really fun and rewarding side of that as well. So kind of a little bit of both. It's a challenge, but I think as a postdoc and even as a graduate student as well, you're really up for the challenge of learning new things. And that's really rewarding to be able to say, oh, well, I now have expertise in this new instrument or this new concept of something that I didn't know before. And you're essentially just building your repertoire to hopefully get you to the exact career goal that you want to be at. I entered the North Carolina Postdoctoral Symposium. Basically, it was my first one here during my postdoc. I recently started a few months ago, so I really wanted to show off the progress that I had made. I felt pretty confident in learning all of these new concepts and having to branch out to toxicology. And I really just wanted to show it off and be able to communicate what I know to other people. A little bit of networking is also always fantastic. It felt really nice to be able to win, because it felt validated to, okay, I did this challenge, I did this hard thing of switching expertise, and I'm able to portray it to somebody who also doesn't know it, and they can actively be able to engage in conversation, they understand the importance, and can follow along in terms of the science. My name is Mallory Thomas. I'm a postdoctoral scholar here at NC State. Go Pat!